Hey, everybody, welcome to Saturday Hockey Talk. I'm your host, Slags. Under the weather, but I'm here. So, I'm a little under the weather. You probably hear it. Um, Amazingly, I get a cold in the summer. I haven't had a bad cold, too. I've been sick for, I think it's day 4 or 3. I can't even remember. But yeah, so I'm here. I may hide out a bit behind the camera with the camera off for most of the show, but I'm here to start, and we're going to talk about, well, as the subject says over there, that side, Ivan Demidov, who I mean, I know it's only sort of off-season training. It's not really highly competitive, but if you watch the highlights that are out there, you can see that Demidov has something special, and that he's going to be pretty damn awesome, in my opinion, this season coming. So I thought we'd talk about that and anything else you guys might want to talk about. And that's right here at Saturday Hockey Talk. Before I might take myself off camera, and before I get to see who's here, cheers, although it's just water in here, in Talking Habs mugs that are available at the link down there. So I got to show you that. This mug actually is the Habnormals podcast mug, but there's also just a Talking Habs one. I think I've got 8 mugs there, and my Habnormals podcast hat, which is also available. You can see in the description. You actually see a picture of them all, and that's why I have to do this, even before I go off camera, to justify having that there. It's a rule, and it's a heavy penalty if you don't follow the rule. That's why. So, check it out at the link down there, and let me know what you think. By the way, about what I have in the store. All right, let's who's here, and we shall go from there. Hey, Phil, how's it going, man? What's the Slags? That Slags is the nickname that Cam came up with. I've asked him, like, where did he get it from? He just came up with it, and you know what? I don't mind it so much, and I'm just kind of what you call it? The words aren't coming to me. I'm just diving into it, Slags. I don't mind that. It's not bad to have a nickname, and so I put that there. Clean my AC filter. Oh, I clean my AC filter all the time. Take it out. I wash it. I don't know what else you're talking about. And you know what? The AC's in my bedroom, and I'm only in there to sleep, so I'm not in there that much, really. And I got this cold from my son, who got it first, and I got it like 4 days later. So I know where I got it from. I haven't had one of these in a long time. So that's all. Hey, Jay, how's it going? Whoops. That dropped. How's it going, Jay? Oh, I see. And then Jay did this. Very nice. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. You know what? I got to have a draw soon for that, because I think it's starting to build up. But your name's going to go in for the draw. I'm going to get to that definitely before the season starts. I am going to draw a name. Someone is going to win a T-shirt, like the one either right behind me here, and there's the other one off to the side that I don't have on camera. But that's going to be the prize that I'm giving away when I do the next draw, and that is going to happen before the season starts. All right? Even if there's not enough in there, I'm still going to do the draw. But thank you, appreciate that, Jay. I appreciate that. Hey, Joe, how's it going, Joe? Awesome. Good to see you out there, Joe. Phil says, same one as Noël Magique de Pierre Falardeau. Let me read that again. Same one as Noël Magique de Pierre Falardeau. I don't say that well. You can hear it in my accent. Par François Morancy. And that is exactly what he's saying there. Same one as Christmas Magic of Pierre Falardeau by François Morancy. Is that what you just said there? Hey, Aki, how's it going? I can actually watch the live show tonight since I'm not in Montreal playing ball. Awesome. So you're not in Montreal and you can watch it. Awesome. It's Phil says it's a hilarious sketch. YouTube it. Okay. I'm probably not going to remember all that by the time I get through this, but I will do my best. Why? You know what? Don't tell me to YouTube it. What do you always do? You always send it to me by email. Why not do that? Send it to me by email, Phil. That way you know I'll take a look at it because I won't remember. All right. So, as I said, just to open up, have you guys seen any of those highlights of Demidov to see how incredibly fast his hands are? And actually, something that I don't know if they'll play together during the season at all because I think they both play the same wing. But Slavin and Demidov out there on the ice, they look good together. They look like they've got some chemistry. So there's some talk about maybe Patrick Laine playing on the first line with Nick Suzuki and having Nick Suzuki kind of get him. Who did I hear that from? I want to say it was Brian Wild on the Sick podcast. I don't know that I agree with that, and I really like Brian Wild. So, I don't know that I agree with that particular thing. But we can talk about that kind of stuff. What do you think the lineup will look like? I put out a lineup video, and I'm quite sure that I have changed my mind on at least one of those guys that I put there, and that's Zach Bolduc being on the third line wing. I think I'm in agreement with Eric Engels, who thinks Bolduc, Doc, and Demidov will be the second line to start the season. Which means he doesn't agree that Line A would be on the first line because you're not putting Slav or Caulfield on the third line. But I did mention that in my video that like those guys could switch lines. So the sketch is quite French, so I probably won't understand a lot of it per se, but doesn't mean it's not funny. But he complains about the Westerners. Yeah, don't the French here do that all the time? Joe says, that reminds me I have to send you links to the true crime YouTube channel I was on about a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's a good idea. You do this because I thought you might have, and I kind of didn't. Yeah, you probably didn't. That's why I haven't checked it out. Yeah, do that. When you do that, I'll give it a click and I'll see what you're talking about. And anybody wants to do something like that, I mean, that's what my email is for, talkinghabs@gmx.com. Link is in the description. I mean, that's what it's for. Anybody can email me there. Anything you want to know, you can't get, whatever, email me there. I'll get back to you. Oops, I should take that off there. And Phil says, don't confess. Joe, they all get caught that way. True crime. You did send them again because I probably ignored them. I apologize, but Phil's gonna send me you. I'll check it out this time. I apologize for not clicking on it the last time. Hey Guru, how's it going, man? I'm sick. I've got a cold, so I'm probably gonna be hopping off camera, but I'm here. But and that's why the lighting. I didn't really fix the lighting. Better off in shade. My nose is getting very sensitive from blowing my nose. Demidov reminds me of Kaprizov. I haven't seen enough Kaprizov to say that I would agree with that, but honestly, I can't. But I mean, if that's the case, Kaprizov's pretty hot, pretty awesome, which I knew, but I can't. But Demidov looks like he's like, okay, can he do that in a game? He showed us a little bit, right? They already did, and you can see, by mid-season, I think Demidov's going to be, looking pretty damn good. As a matter of fact, if you didn't see my points prediction video, which a lot I don't think did, I got like 5,300 on the lineup video. The points one has only got 500, which I put it out yesterday. But so check it out if you haven't seen that yet. Points prediction, it's out. Who we talking about that I gave? I was going to say Demidov. I gave Demidov. I'll spoil it if you haven't seen it. Full slate of 82 games, 23 goals, 50 assists, 73 points. I realize that's a bit on the high side. It's a bold hot take kind of guess, and I get that. I do believe he's capable of doing that. A lot of things have to go perfect, but I think if he's going to win the Calder Trophy, he's going to be up in that area. And also there's from the Sick Podcast. I don't know if anybody's seen this clip I saw on Reels. And I think it's a Russian. No, I don't know who the guy is, but talking about the Demidov. I guess the difference between Demidov and Michkov, why Montreal. I'm trying to get the whole gist of it. But he basically said that for him, he wouldn't change the fact that Montreal went for Reinbacher over Michkov. I don't know how he married up the fact that they didn't get Demidov till the year after, but I talked about this before. Montreal had decided that they were going to do their best to get Demidov. They're going to hope they get him, and they're going to try to be there without without tanking. Somehow they knew, I guess, and this guy agreed that he would rather have Demidov and Reinbacher than Demidov and Michkov together. He thought Demidov and Reinbacher will be more valuable to the team that way than having the two Russian kids together. I don't disagree. I'm going to take myself off camera while I blow my nose. How's that? And then I'll stay off a bit. Yeah. I'm going to turn my mic off for a sec, too. Yeah, I didn't want to blow your ears out with me blowing my nose. So does that answer the question? I don't know. Did I answer the question? I think I didn't. But if I didn't, I'm sorry. I haven't. How many times did we play Minnesota? Kaprizov was hurt a couple. I didn't see him a lot. So that's the best I can say on that. Phil says he's not a first line A kind of guy. Sheltered minutes on a classic exploitation line. Third liner with Evans, maybe. Well, I think the argument was that Suzuki can make up for his lack of defense and can get this guy going. I didn't agree with it, to be honest with you. I think line A will play on the third line. Honestly, I don't know if it'll be with Evans. I kind of don't think it will be. Hell, it could be with Doc. I don't think that's a good combo, though. I kind of think it's going to end up, Doc might be on the wing on the second line with Bolduc as the second line center. But we're going to see how that works out, right? Camp could really, you never know. Sometimes you never know what the hell is going to happen in camp. Guru, summer, I can't even say, I was going to say Hummer colds. Summer colds suck big time. I haven't had a bad cold like this. Like I've had a couple of mild colds where I'm sick with a cold one day. By the next afternoon, I'm better. But this has been, well, I guess I'm going to the fourth day now. What are you going to do? I also thought, well, like my son came down with this like 4 days before. I thought 4 days. That sounds like COVID. And I got to admit, I kind of felt like I had COVID the first day and a half. Just the way the body felt. And then when I felt better, because I did, I felt, oh, I'm better. And then the cold hit. And then my son said he got the cold right away. So, like, I don't even know. But it is what it is. And I got to get through it somehow. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. I will check that out. I go into my email usually every day now. So in the summer, not as much. but I try to, even if I don't have anything, I go, well, let me see if anything is up there. So I will go and check that out. And Phil too. Who would we prefer, Crosby or Tage Thompson? Well, if you're looking at going forward, Tage Thompson is younger and you have him longer. If you're looking at an immediately big impact on the team, would be Crosby. I mean, that's a good, that's a good two guys to put out there, I guess. Gallagher stays, Andy goes. Andy might not go. Andy plays a role on the team. Like if one of the kids that, one of those big guys that can play that kind of role that Andy played last year, if they graduate by the season after this upcoming one, maybe. But if not, I think Andy stays through his contract, which he's got, 2 seasons left, right? I think Andy stays through his contract because he's playing a role that he played really well last year, that fit him, that he bought into, and he wants to be here, and he doesn't mind playing that role to be part of what's going on here. I think Andy stays. They've got a few candidates that, could be kid that takes over, but I don't think they're ready for 2-3 years. I'm talking about Thorpe. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher his name now. Papanesque. I can't remember the end of that. The native kid, and then there's one more. I can't. Oh, and Jack-Eye. So Jack-Eye, I guess, could get here. I guess that's if Jack-Eye makes the team, Andy could go. I think that could be how that could happen. Remember, by the way, if I sound weird or I don't make any sense, remember I'm sick, and that's probably the reason. If I'm making a lot of sense, it's probably because I'm brilliant. I mean, that's the conclusion I would come to. Phil says, here's another unpopular idea. Trade Gooley while his value is sky high. I think Phil might be sky high, and re-sign Matheson for a team-friendly contract. Get that second-line center. Yeah, but I mean, I is that guy there though? So you're like, I don't know if you trade Gooley and you can find that guy. Because don't you think that they might have tried those kind of options or made those kind of offers? And that guy apparently is not out there. Not the one that they want to move forward with for a long period of time. And I don't like the idea of moving Gooley unless they find that guy. I kind of think if they had found that guy, they'd have made a move. Why left-handed center? Does that matter? Like, what do we got? We got Suzuki is right. Bolduc, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be a center. I think Doc is a right-handed. Isn't Newhook a lefty? Anyway, yeah, you might be right. We might need a left side guy. I actually, you know what? You're right, because I remember a couple of months ago just thinking about doing a video about that. Right, a left shot center is kind of what they need for the second. So you're right. Hey there, Johnny Golden. Good to see you back in there, man. Good to see you. I've got a cold, so I'm off camera because I look like shit, and I've got a cold, but I'm here. That's the best I can do. Show must go on one way or the other, so I'll try to stay for the whole hour. My throat's not too bad, and yes, I'm still smoking, but my throat's not too bad. So yeah, I should be okay. I don't know. I got a cold. Andy's size is needed. Well, Papanescu, is that how? Yeah, I think Papanescu, something like that. He's big. He's 6'5", so that's not a problem. Jack-Eye is 6'4". That's not a problem. And Thorpe, I think, is 6'5". So that's the whole point. I agree with you. His size is needed. But when one of these kids is ready, I think, but I don't know. Are they going to be ready in the next 2 years? Jack-Eye is probably going to be ready. So that's when Andy will probably get traded. Are we going to make another trade before the season starts? I don't think so. I kind of think they're done. Unless by and something that Eric Engel said, that could change in a second in a snap of a finger, right? When somebody else goes, "Hey, are you interested in this guy?" And that could be it, and it happens. But what are they trading for at this point? I don't know what other than the second line center. I don't know what they need to trade for right now. And that's how I'm looking at it. I don't see why they'd be making a move. Renegade Man, are they still going after Kyrou? I don't think so at this point. Besides, was it Grant McCagg put out a list of their wingers that they have? You look at the list of wingers, and why would they need to go and move assets to another team when you've got these guys potentially here? So no, I don't see why they would go out and get Kyrou at this point. My opinion. Joe says, I don't think the Habs are going for Kyrou. Yeah, see, Joe agrees. Yeah, I think if that Kyrou deal was going to happen, it would have happened already. Right? When they made the Bolduc trade. Why not move both? Get back, that much more. But I kind of think it fell through then, and I don't think they could revive it, is what I think happened. All right. Let's see what I can come up with for now. Well, did you guys see anybody got any questions about any of the points predictions I made for the video? I know not everybody probably saw it. I had a feeling it was going to do what it did, and it's at 500 views. So I hope it gets to 1,000. the lineup one got, well, it's over 5,300 right now, so which was great because I haven't had one of those videos in forever. But I learned something about that because I'm doing all these YouTube kind of classes that they offered, and a part of this group. It's been great, actually. Yeah, so apparently, when you sort of change a little bit of what you're doing, it can throw the algorithm off, and it takes a little bit of time for it to get used to what you're doing and all that. And I think I've come to realize that every season, when the season's over and I go into off season, and then when we go back to the season, although not so much there, but mostly when the season's over and I go back to regular videos, I have this drop off, I think, every year. And I say to myself, oh, I've got to get the channel back up and get it back going. And I think it's the algorithm adjusting to the fact that I'm not doing games. I'm just doing regular videos. I think that's what it is anyway. And now I don't know why I told you all that. Yeah, I'm doing good tonight. I hope it was a good enough story what I said. Where was I? Oh, good. We got a comment. That's why. That's why you guys left me on my own, and I had to come up with something. That's what it was. Johnny Golden says, I think they start with Doc at 2C and to see how it goes. His potential, he has potential, but hasn't lived up to it. Yeah, the only thing I say to that, because I agree, and if you looked at my lineup video, then you saw that's how I had it. I'll just say if Bolduc has a sensational camp, then I think it's the other way around. And I think Bolduc will start at center and we'll get Doc on the wing. And it'll depend maybe on, he's working with Marc Bureau on faceoffs. Bolduc is. Like, if that goes well and his camp really goes well, and maybe Doc, isn't doing well on faceoffs, like whatever. We saw Doc on the wing. Doc on the wing is just fine, right? We saw that. So I think that could be what happens. But other than that, I think you're right. Renegade Man says Reinbacher should make the roster next season, but I'm wondering if he will be a seventh defenseman. I wouldn't want him to be a healthy scratch on a regular basis. Exactly. And I also think that considering the amount of development time he has lost with the injuries last season, especially, I think I could see him starting in Laval and then maybe come up. Like, I didn't put him in my points video because I kind of thought it's either I put him in the video, and even though I did say now Matheson might get traded, but I think if Reinbacher comes up, Matheson is going to move. Does that make any sense? But I kind of think the start of the season, Reinbacher is going to start in Laval. Remember, I'm ill from a cold, so I may not make sense here and there. It's because of the cold. I can't help that. There's my excuse. Are you buying it? You guys buying that? I hope so. But he could make it out of camp, Reinbacher. He could make it out of camp. It's because of my prolific pornography career. How did you find the videos? No. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's just somebody who looks like me. Which I don't know how that would make a porn star, though. Phil says Bolduc will not only start at center, he'll be coach and Chantal Maccabi by the end of the season. Is that a comment that I'm talking him up too much? Listen. I haven't seen him play that much. It's not from me. I'm kind of an aggregator of what I hear from people who know better than I do. I'm not saying he will be the starting center. I'm saying that why are they giving him all this training with the faceoffs with Mark Bureau? Why are they doing that if they don't have the idea that he could be the center? He was a center in junior. So he's played center. It's not like he's in the league all kinds of years. So he's not that far away from playing center. From everything I'm hearing, he's going to probably be on the second line and could be the center. First game of the season, maybe not. But I kind of think at some point, he will be. Something about the kid that I thought he was a different kid when I heard they drafted Bolduc. I was thinking of a different kid named Bolduc. But then, learn a little bit about him, and you get a feeling for a kid, even though you don't know much about him, but you get a feeling. I'm usually pretty good at that. I got a feeling about this kid. That's all. That this kid is going to be well worth giving up Logan Mailloux for, and potentially could be that guy that they're looking for at 2C. When you look at the age, when you look at all that, if that's the case, then one hell of a trade. And if he just turns out to be a really good winger, top six, middle six winger, it's still a good trade. I'm hearing some really good things about this kid from really good people I'm reading, that know him, and yeah. Where was I? He's a winger. Remember Drouin, Galchenyuk. Why? What does that mean? What does that mean? Because of Drouin and Galchenyuk, this kid is not the real deal. But how do you figure that? If anything, you can go third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Guru says, just like all predictions, there will be some that are close, some that are on the money, and some out to left field, of course. Some players will be dark horse producers, and others will have down seasons. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's like any year. But I like what I'm hearing about the kid. He's on, like it was his first season last year, wasn't it? 19 goals in his first full season. A kid with a lot of talent, a first-round pick. Like, he's got a lot of things going for him. He's from Montreal. His motivation is through the roof. He's got a great coach in Marty St. Louis. I think there's a lot going for this kid. So I have this gut feeling about him. So, are my gut feelings always right? No, but sometimes they are. Who did you film that you're filthy? I'm afraid to ask almost. Guru says, so, see how close you are after 82 games, right? No, 100%. And that's why I do those points. Although the points prediction video, I'll probably update before the season starts. I said it in the video. I probably do it again during camp. Well, we'll see. Matheson could be a deadline trade. It's what I had in my video. After Reinbacher gets recalled, or that could be the reason Reinbacher gets recalled too. They feel he's ready. Once they move Matheson, they can bring Reinbacher up. Like, that could be what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. One thing I'm pretty sure of, though, I really don't think Matheson gets moved before the deadline. They're not moving him in camp. Like, unless Reinbacher comes into camp and does the same, like I'm talking about Bolduc, wows the pants off the coaches, then you could probably see Matheson getting moved. Until that happens, I don't think they move him. Because I kind of think Matheson's your insurance in case Reinbacher's not ready. If Zeus helps him, Bolduc, who's Zeus? Could be an Ovechkin-like player. He's a winger. He's not a winger per se. And who's Zeus? I mean, it's your opinion that he's a winger. I get it, but then you're in the minority. The potential is that he's a center. And if that's not the case, why are they working in the offseason so much with him and Marc Bureau, who is their face-off coach? Why is he working with a face-off coach if they don't have the idea that maybe he could be the center? Right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he will be. That's just a gut feeling. But they feel that he could be. My opinion again. Where was I? I'm sure they practice face-offs to a certain extent, but that would be in camp. I don't see why a winger who you know is going to be your winger, why are you working with him through so much of the offseason with the face-off coach? It makes no sense to me, other than that either A, your hope is that he could be a winger, or a center, or you feel that he could be that guy and you want to give him every opportunity to be ready for camp to prove whether he can or not. That's how I look at it. I kind of think Beck's going to get another year in Laval. That's why, don't forget, they got Veleno. They brought Veleno in. Now, could Veleno go to Laval? Sure. Did they really bring Veleno in thinking, yeah, we'll put him in Laval? No. Veleno's here to play center on third or fourth line. If Beck blows them out of the water, that's different. we'll see at camp. But I kind of figure it gives Beck, a guy like Kapanen, gives them more time to develop. They're still really young. Another year developing is not going to hurt them. Do I see Demidov winning the Calder? Misa and Askarov could be strong candidates as well. I know that Demidov going into the season is going to be the favorite. Excuse me, just drinking. He's going to be my favorite as well. Do I see him capable of winning the Calder? I do. But, like for that, it's hard to tell. Will he be, till we're into the season to see how other players are doing as well. But I think, legitimately so, he's the favorite going in. I'd love to see it, believe me. I'm not sure I'm going to read that one, Phil. People take it the wrong way. Joseph, Toffoli would be nice on the PK and third line. But again, old news. He's too old to be bringing back in for that. They're not doing that. He was here. You know why he was here, right? If you saw that he was here, it was for Nick Suzuki's wedding. So he was here. It's off-season training. He is a former Hab. Not a surprise to have seen him out on the ice with everybody. But if you're getting any ideas that they're going to go for Toffoli, they're not. Phil says, me and let's stop the fantasy of. Okay, me and is what? Let's stop the fantasy of converting wingers to center. It's a no-go. You could do the opposite, though. Okay, but then let me ask you this. If Bolduc was a center in junior, and then they brought him up to the NHL, they converted him to winger. So you're just saying don't convert wingers to center, but he was converted to winger, as far as I know. So where is the rationale there? I don't see the rationale. Yeah, I think Mooney's going to be pretty good. I mean, you got to give him probably, 2-3 years, but Mooney looks like he's got potential. Don't look at his size, because that doesn't mean shit with this kid. Don't look at his size. He's got potential. His hands alone. A guy that can stick handle and handle the puck like he does, he has to have potential to be an NHL player. Renegade Man says, the only thing I worry about is we don't want another Sergachev or McDonough trade that would bite us in the butt with Mayu. Okay, I get the thought. I mean, I get it. I'm going to have a little more trust in RGM. I don't think you heard, how do I want to put this? I don't think Bolduc has the baggage that Drouin had coming in. His time in Tampa and the negotiations or whatever happened there. So I don't think he had that kind of baggage, right? And it's two different players. It's just totally two different players. I don't see Bolduc as being a Drouin. Not from anything I kind of heard. Now, could it happen? Could. But look, Mayu could turn out to be a bust. You don't know. And so, you got to take some chance. I don't think they take chances like that. I think they're quite confident in the move they made. And to get a guy like Bolduc, if you believe Mayu is this guy, then what does it mean that you think about Bolduc? Right? So you got to look at, if you respect Hughes and Gorton's judgment, then you got to ask yourself, well, who is this kid that they think that highly of him? That's how I'm looking at it, right? And then you read and hear about how people are talking about him. I like the move. And you got to give to get. Bolduc was not only fifth in rookie scoring, he was second last season in the whole NHL in goals scored per 60 minutes. Second, 3 spots ahead of Nick Suzuki. So he's got some stuff. He's got some stuff, man. You got to give this kid an opportunity and not have give him the opportunity without having the negative thinking. Bolduc is better than Heineman? Well, I think so. It's not a knock on Heineman. Why train wingers and faceoffs just in case the Habs trade for him? But you didn't answer my question. Why is Montreal spending the time in the off season, not in camp, in the off season, to have their face-off specialists, coach, train this kid because they want their wingers to know how to face off? He knows about face-offs. He was a center in junior. Think about what you're saying. Or you're just saying that to try to make me exasperated with that you can't grasp it. I don't know. Drouin may have been a center in junior, but guess what? Drouin and Bolduc, 2 different guys. Just in case you didn't know, they're 2 different people. All right. Renegade Man says, do you see Demidov playing in the top line with Suzuki during the second half of the season? I just think he's too good. That means Slavkovsky or Caulfield have to be bumped to the second line. I go this. I could see Demidov playing on first line here and there, especially when they're down a goal and they need a goal really bad. I could see that happening. Eventually, I could definitely see Demidov earning top line. I don't know that it'll be this season, but I think at times when they're really desperate hunting for a goal, I can see them doing that switch. Mooney's too small. Come on, laugh my fucking ass off. Okay. You want to be prejudiced against a small guy, and be that. I guess Caulfield's too small because there's only maybe an inch difference between Caulfield and Mooney. So what you're saying is Caulfield, who had 37 goals and 33 assists last season for 70 points, is too small. Because you can't say Mooney is too small and then say, oh, Caulfield's big. That's a good hot take. I don't know anything about him, Rapham. So I can't argue that, and that's fine. I like hot takes like that. If maybe that would be great if that's true. But like I said, I don't know anything about that kid, and I don't want to talk about a kid that I don't want to say anything about a kid I don't know anything about. I don't even know how big he is or anything about him. I just know that the name. I know they drafted him. That's it. Excuse me. Mooney is the real deal. As Phil says, he'll make you and your Gargamel face look silly. The kid, the way he stick handles, when he is the best stick handler in the last draft class, and not even close, is how like almost all the scouts I had heard or read about said. I mean, the kid's got something. Oh, I read that. Hey, Jason, if not that he's too small, it's not that he's too small. You can't have all your main guys be small. Well, I agree with that. And to a certain degree, right? We already have a few small guys. If you surround them with enough of the big, talented guys, there's room for him, especially when there will be one or two of the guys here now that are small won't be here. But you can't have like your whole team be small. Mooney would be, but you're talking about like he'd be here next year, or whatever. We don't know when he'd hit. It's going to be at least what, 2, 3, 4 years away. So like you don't know. Teams can change a fuck of a lot in 3 or 4 years. Looking back, if the Habs didn't trade for Dobson, who would you want the Habs to draft at 16 or 17? Well, I know who they were going to draft at 16 was going to be the guy they got in the second round, Zurovsky. He was their 16th pick. So when he was still available, when they got him, that's the reason they traded up, because they were going to pick him at 16. Zurovsky could end up being a steal in this draft. Because if you like what you see in Demidov, Zurovsky is basically a clone of Demidov's style. He's got the same kind of quick hands. He's very much like Demidov with the way he moves. It's crazy. Go look at his highlights. You'll see what I'm talking about. At 17, I don't know. Like I thought, I did a video about him. Justin Carbonneau would have been a good pick. A guy like that. There were some options there, but I do know Zurovsky was their 16th pick. Small players can get into areas big ones can't get into, also move easier and faster. And something about Mooney is has the heart and drive of Brendan Gallagher, not afraid to go into the corners and not afraid to engage physically. And when you've got hands like him, you can steal pucks away. And incredible speed too. So, like, he's an NHLer in the making. Zurovsky, Demidov, and Mooney would be crazy line for stick handling. Absolutely. Listen, maybe one day, right? I don't know that that'll be, but you never know. But yeah, I mean, those guys can really handle that puck. Incredible skill with those three. Who knows? Wait, who knows? Really sucks? Who knows something sucks? Top scoring Marty St. Louis, Cole Caulfield, useless Lane Hudson, 11 cup. Small guys you're talking about. 11 cup winner, tops in history, the pocket rocket. But yeah, I mean, small guys, you know. Yeah, listen, a small guy who's successful in the NHL is a special kind of player. It's not just any small guy. You got to have something. And apparently Mooney has that. He has that, what you need to be that guy. Mooney will replace Galley? I mean, maybe. I don't know that that's 100% sure. Mooney reminds me a lot of Hudson, but I only saw him in development camp, so I'm having difficulty fully seeing his style. But okay, Hudson's bigger by a couple inches. You were expecting Harvey Pinard to replace Gallagher. It did not materialize. And where did he sign? He is now in Carolina. I want to say RHP signed with Carolina. I do know he signed elsewhere, so he's no longer in the Habs organization. If you hadn't seen that, I don't know. Maybe that's something some people missed. I'm just not exactly sure which team that he signed with. All right. Anything else anybody wants to know? I'm still here for that. We got about another 10 minutes. I will remind you if from earlier when I was showing you my mug and my cup. My mug and my cup, same thing, and my hat. Link is right down there if you want to check that out. Also, hit that thumbs up if you're having a good time. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you can consider maybe taking a membership. Hit that join button. You take a membership. One thing you do get is 10% off your first order. If you make an order at Fourth Wall, you'll get 10% off for that. You'll get the members only videos, and I've been sick for 4 days. Every day of the 4 days, I've had members only video to do. I just haven't been able to get it done. So hopefully tomorrow's not a good day. We have to put a cat down tomorrow, a 20-year-old cat. So Monday. But there's members only videos and members only live streams every 2 weeks. So Wednesday, by the way, should be, I think, Wednesday, or is it next Wednesday? I can't remember. I'll look back and see. So consider doing that. Membership start at just $1.99, and you can cancel at any time. So that's something. All right, where was I? Do I have Bolduc over Line? I have the possibility of it, yeah. Camp will decide. But I think that's probably even a strong possibility, or at least a 50-50 possibility. There you go. You have it right. It's Pittsburgh where RHP is. So Harvey Pinard's in Pittsburgh. And, I mean, he's going to be with Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Is that the team? Their minor league team? Why are you saying Heinz makes RHP sauce? Did someone, or HP sauce? Did someone say that? That's okay. Well, why Heinz in Pittsburgh? Where's the connection there, Joe? The lighter doesn't work. I'm missing the connection. Or my brain is just foggy. Renegade Man, I don't disagree. Oh, here it is. I don't disagree with that either. I mean, in my lineup video, I had Line A on opening night on second line. But I know I'm hearing people think that it'll be Bolduc there. Or it'll be Bolduc if he wins the job over a few games or a month. Like, I don't know. We're going to have to see, but potential is there. How do I expect Line A to do this season? I hear he's motivated. First man on the ice in Brassard. I hope he's motivated. It's hard to tell. For me, I think this. If he plays on the third line, I don't think it's going to affect his goals. Why? He's going to get most of them on the power play anyway. So I don't think that's a problem. I think if he plays on on a second line, who's he going to play with? He doesn't play well with Doc. There's something about, what was the reference? I can't remember. There's something about both of them. It's not good. And then, so you're leaving Demidov to have to be defensive. That's it. Their defense isn't great. Doc had the worst plus-minus number last season. And Line A, not a defensive guy at all. You're leaving a rookie Demidov to be the defensive guy on that line. It's not going to work. So depending how the line sets up, I think Line A might be on the third line and Bolduc be there. And that kind of, like, you'd have Line A, Newhook, and I'm missing on somebody. I don't know who. It's not coming to me. Maybe Anderson, maybe Kapanen. I don't know who I'm missing. Veleno. Right? So, yeah. I think that might be how it goes. Oh, I didn't read this one. I get a lot of hate recently, but I feel he still has something to prove next year. 40 goals. Oh, I don't doubt he has something to prove. I hope he goes into the season going, I got to prove them all wrong. I want to see him lean into guys on the boards. If he can do that and play a little bit physical with that big body of his, it's an improvement. Like, show that. But he's got to show that. The goals, I have no problem. Line is going to score goals. But there's more to the game that he's going to need to have to play on the second line. My opinion. Well, Heinz taken over the company that makes HP sauce. That makes it easier. Heinz is a Pittsburgh-based company. I get it. But I wouldn't know anymore because it's an American thing. I don't buy it. I won't buy it. So I don't buy anything American. I see word associations too often. No, nothing wrong with word associations. Everybody called him RHP sauce. In the beginning, that was one of his nicknames. One of the channels, they had a T-shirt. That's what it was. A bottle of HP sauce, but it was RHP sauce. Veleno will be hopefully in Laval. Maybe in Laval, maybe not be. What I don't get though, Brad, the season hasn't started at all, but you're already, hopefully he'll be in Laval. It's already the negativity. Why? How can you look at this team right now and be negative about it? I don't get it. I hope Doc will play better this season and stay healthy. It's going to be hard to trade him. Yeah, I don't disagree, but they've got no commitment to him after, right? He's on his last year of his contract. If he doesn't prove it, he won't get re-signed. Simple. You could say, well, then you lost something, whatever. Okay, maybe you can then look back and say maybe not the best trade, but at the time it was a good trade and all that. It didn't work out. Sometimes that's going to happen. You think Blay has 50 and 50 season? What does that mean? You think Blay's going to get what? 50 goals? What are you kidding me? Blade be lucky if he plays 50 games. I had him at 40, which might be way high. Blay last year was the whole season in the AHL. That could very easily be the case here. I don't know what you think. He's going to have 50 goals for 50 points for Blay. Okay, now I know you're either very high, very drunk, potentially mentally handicapped, or just trying to pull my leg, obviously. You think Brad is concerned right now due to log jams? They're only log jams if the guys that are needing to come up are 100% ready. If they are not, then it's not a log jam. And it would explain a signing like Veleno, that there might not be a log jam there that they feel, and they'd rather have the guys develop a little longer. And when they do come up at 22 or 23, which is fine, they're going to be that much better and ready for the NHL. Kind of think that's how they're looking at it. Otherwise, I don't know why would they sign Veleno, really. Rapham, I figured you were kidding. Don't worry about it. Well, Rapham, just think maybe they don't feel Kapanen is 100% ready yet and needs a little time, maybe even on the wing, because I think Kapanen will play some games here. But I kind of think they brought in Veleno, who's a Montrealer, who's very excited to be here to play. I think they brought him in to play on the big club. Yeah, I'm good with the Veleno signing. He's going to play third or fourth line C. That's basically what he's done in his career. I think he's got some veteran experience now. He's a Montrealer. He's really motivated to be here. I like those factors. And then if it doesn't work out, well, it's hardly a big contract, and they can waive him and put him in Laval and get full money back, or someone picks him up. It's a zero risk. So I have no problem with it. But to say, I mean, hopefully he'll be in Laval. Why? I hope they sign Veleno and he contributes. Because, like I said, I think if they signed him, there's a reason why. How am I doing for time? Wow, I made it the whole hour, right? Well, since we are here an hour, I have an unpleasant day tomorrow, so and it starts early enough, so I'm going to take off. I'm just going to go over what I might be doing over the next few days. Not a lot. It's off season. I will be doing that members only video. Since we didn't have a members only live stream this week, we will have one next week on Wednesday. What else we got? The podcast was supposed to do. I'm supposed to do have normals tomorrow, but considering the day that I have to go through, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So we may have a delay of 1 week there. And that's it for now. I'll come back on so you can see my ugly face. And I will say to you all, thank you for being here tonight. It was a pretty good room tonight. I think the audience is starting to come back a little bit, so that's always good. I'll be back next Saturday for Saturday Hockey Talk, as we do all through the off season. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see you again very soon. I'm not sure what video I'm going to be doing next. I haven't really thought it out of what I want to do, and I don't know. Thanks, everybody, for putting up with me, and I will see you soon. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all, and have a great rest of the day. It's only 10 o'clock. It's still early on a Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the night. That's it for me. Ciao, everybody.